Main event time, BC Steel. Premier Championship will be on the line, and I'm very curious to see if the strategy pays off. I don't know if I've ever seen a challenger voluntarily take on an additional matchup before a Premier Championship matchup, before any major championship matchup like this, without having to do so.
Well, Joe, before the World Series or the Super Bowl, you don't have a warm-up matchup. It's very dangerous. If there is one man that can get that done, though, it's Nate Mattson.
As you see, Sless Taylor accompanying Nate to ringside. Sless says that Nate opened his eyes and showed him the true path to success in professional wrestling. It's not about impressing the fans. It's not about flips. It's not about looking good in the ring as far as just how athletic you are or how many things you can do to dazzle anybody that watches you. It's about just raw, bare-bone pro wrestling and down and dirty grappling. And Nate Mattson has instilled that in Sless. And Sless, as a result, has that one half of the Tag Team Championships. Let's hear from the challenger in our main event.
With the tag team titles on Proposition 3, we made another business deal. We can interchange any championship match, anything. Anything. If I don't want to wrestle, if you don't want to wrestle, we can gladly step in. You can step in. So tonight, to reward you for all your hard work in retaining these Premier Championship tag team
He's tricking you, man.
No. We're going to show the Cogars. If they want to play mind games, we can play mind games too. So how about this? You take my place tonight. You take on Atticus Cogar, and you bring home the championship. How about that? You want to see Sless? Out of there.
This one surprises me.
You want to stay on there? Please do me a favor. I know you got it in you. You are the premier athlete here. You show everybody you are top notch. So what do you say?
I say that's pretty good business, Nate. Let's do it.
Wow, Joe. I'm just going to say it. Sless Taylor, you didn't like what he did. You said he turned his back and he bought in and sold out. But we could be looking at a man that in a short time has become tag team champion and premier champion.
Nate Mattson rewarding Sless for getting the pinfall in that tag team title match earlier. And Nate, was this part of Nate's plan the whole time? Nate apparently got the contract changed on this match as well? I wasn't aware of that.
Well, I mean, Proposition 3.
I thought it was a tag team rule, but I mean, Nate Mattson apparently has dug in deeper on the Cogar conspiracy here as we see the reigning champion, Atticus Cogar, who has proudly worn that championship since the month of December. And not only has he been Premier Champion, but he's been representing Cleveland, Premier, and the Cogar name all over the country. And Cogar, with his hand on a Premier Tag Team title that used to be his, but now Cogar with the top prize in Premier, whether it's Game Changer Wrestling, Freelance Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling. Here in Premier, Atticus Cogar has made headlines and gotten people all over the industry talking.
For a short time it was Atticus Cogar, member of the combination. Atticus and Otis Cogar. It wasn't a singular form or singular look at Atticus, and Atticus has put all that to bed. The spotlight is firmly on Atticus Cogar, and this is his time.
Introducing first is the challenger, being accompanied at ringside by amazing Nate Mattson. From Lakeville, Ohio, weighing in at 204 pounds, he is a co-holder of the Premier Tag Team Championship and is representing the business Sless.
intimidation as Mattson puts that title in the face of Nate Mattson as if to say, are you scared to fight me? And Sless Taylor from behind.
Well, Joe, I think that was answered in the month of November. We saw what happened.
Yeah, Atticus was not medically cleared to compete due to a serious hand injury that required 9 stitches to close and kept opening throughout the week. Atticus Cogar was not going to be able to legally defend that title as Atticus explodes at the bell. Otis was the surrogate. Otis was the replacement defending that title, and that's where Nate claims Cogar conspiracy, and where Nate's gotten all these perks, including changing a match last minute like he has just now. Sless trying to send Atticus to the floor, but Atticus hangs on, back in now. And it's trademark Atticus offense into that short super kick. The standing moonsault connects into the cover for 2.
Joe, you talked about earlier, when you change the game, you don't have time to game plan. This is not what Atticus expected. Sless and Nate are singular-minded. They work collectively as a unit. However, they're very different competitors.
Sless able to escape and hit the enziguri as Atticus had a handful of face, but yeah, you can almost see, oh, wait a minute. Mattson tried to take a shot at Atticus. This is the man he wanted to fight. This is the man that's been running his mouth. Atticus is all more than willing to take on Nate and Sless from behind.
And Joe, I think we need to remind you.
God in the post.
Before Nate Mattson, would you have said that Sless Taylor would be within a 3 count of the Premier Championship, where he was in the rankings?
I wouldn't know.
And where is he now? He could be our new Premier Champion.
He's still not atop the rankings. Nate Mattson is, but he's in this match because of Nate Mattson's political plays, and Atticus daring Sless to hit him as hard as he can.
Well, hey, by hook, by crook, by error, opportunity, the fact is he can be our new Premier Champion. And I, for one, would welcome it.
Oh, and Sless sends Atticus hard into the guardrail. Shoulder and back first. I couldn't imagine the business controlling the tag titles and the Premier Championship.
Can't think of anything better.
Atticus, I mean, he's just struggling to catch up here. Again, I mean, Nate and Sless, similar mindset right now, certainly, but 2 very different athletes. And Atticus has wanted a piece of Nate Mattson ever since that confrontation in the month of November. Atticus has counted down these days, and now Sless Taylor gets inserted in the 11th hour, the last minute. And I'm not even aware of how Nate pushed that through that quickly, but apparently he did.
Joe, we talk about the veteran leadership that Nate Mattson provides. He's a smart guy. He's not just whistling Dixie out there.
Atticus hit that buckle hard, and that's why the supreme power. And Sless, I mean, is a lot more than we thought he was, and Sless could be the most by the end of this. He could be the champion. Suplex, no. Atticus trying to counter. And draping Sless across that top rope.
I was going to say earlier about the abs of Sless Taylor, but he might have a few indents after that top rope.
Suplex into the cover for 2. Atticus punching himself in frustration.
It shows the sick, twisted individual. A lot of people scream out, a lot of people hit the mat. He punches himself.
I think Sless realizes what he got himself into by accepting this matchup. Maybe that's why Nate Mattson didn't want a part of this thing. Maybe Nate Mattson is running scared of Atticus.
Here's the question I have. How long was this plan formulated? When was Sless Taylor prepared for this?
I don't know.
You know, maybe Nate Mattson, through the goodness of his heart and his soul and the charitable human being that he is, just thought, you know what, I'm going to reward Sless Taylor.
Maybe it's fear.
Yeah, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder.
I noticed Sless. This used to be a staple of Sless's offense, that springboard in, and now second rope with an elbow.
Nothing wrong with a second rope elbow drop.
No frills, no flips, no style, and now into the crossface. We've seen many men tap out in this crossface over the past 6 months. If Atticus is the latest, we have a new Premier Champion, and it's Sless Taylor. Atticus is inching. Atticus is, he's no stranger to pain. And, I think Sless could sense Atticus getting closer to the rope, pulls him dead center of the ring.
And I'll tell you, it'll be good for Atticus that he's no stranger to pain because Sless Taylor is going to put him
Wait,
in a lot.
Atticus is biting the hand!
Oh, that's one way to get out of it.
Sless got too close to the silver teeth of Satan, and Atticus now unloading. Oh, Sless! That Pele kick dazes Atticus, who's already had a lot taken out of him. That shot to the guardrail, Nate Mattson's distractions, the physicality of Sless. Atticus' resiliency being tested here, and another bite.
I wonder where he learned that one from.
Now, springing in, but Sless out of the way. Atticus a step ahead. DDT, Sless got planted. Sless is down, Atticus on top. 2 count only.
And Atticus right now fighting for the culmination. We know Remy and Gory are probably on I-95 or I-80 or I-72 or 77, somewhere at this point.
Yeah, pursuing R.C. Dupree and Joe Rosa. I mean, Remy still might be in that car for all we know.
Probably with his feet hanging out the side. I mean, I'm sure LaRusso browbeating Otis right now. I'm sure they have both taken off.
Yeah, you know Otis isn't going to be allowed to be out here. But you know he's watching. You know he's watching as Sless power bombs Atticus. And there's a near fall. And right back into the crossface, that tunnel vision that's been helped to be instilled in Sless by Nate Mattson.
You know what I was going to say? Those aren't gym muscles. Those are fighting muscles. That is a fighting body that is meant to just take out, and that is what he has seen the light, so to speak, if you will, from Nate Mattson.
Atticus counters into the brain hemorrhage. Sless got spiked. Desperation move. Atticus cinches and beats him. Nate couldn't get in time.
Still the Premier Champion, Atticus Cogar!
Atticus wins that matchup, and I'll admit, Atticus was in trouble there in the latter couple of minutes, and the look on Atticus's face as he cinched in that cover, it was a look of hope. I think Atticus needed this matchup to end because Sless had put in a lot of punishment on Silver Teeth Satan. Forgot one thing. Wait a minute. I see a mini neck bomb. What is this?
The contract! Nate Mattson versus Atticus is good! Bring the bell! Bring the bell! This is good!
What?
That's right! I'm still a challenger! The match is still on! Bring the bell!
Wait a minute.
It's right there!
Nate's name has still been on the contract the whole time. Nate lied. Nate's gonna steal the title. Atticus kicks out. Nate Mattson. We all took him at his word that Sless Taylor replaced him in this match, but he never did.
Well, Joe, you want to know the best thing you've got to learn about the business? DTA, to quote a phrase, don't trust anybody.
Another M80 neck bomb. Mattson hooked tight. Mattson's won the title. Mattson stolen the title.
And the new Premier Champion, amazing Nate Mattson.
Sless Taylor was a red herring. Sless Taylor was the ruse the whole time. Atticus got tired out, fighting 15 minutes against a top athlete, and right when Atticus barely eked by, Mattson was waiting there, as fresh as they come, and now we know what Mattson's grand plan was. Nate Mattson's the premier champion.
Let's hear people talk about it now. Let's hear the complaints on social media. Oh, Nate Mattson this, Nate Mattson that. He's too old school. I don't agree with what he says and does and views.
Atticus Cogar has lost what he worked an entire year to attain.
Another rule about the business. Anything you work to attain can be gone in 3 seconds. Atticus Cogar just learned it the hard way.
And Atticus never saw it coming. His temper, his impulsiveness was his downfall because the calculated brains of Nate Mattson found a way to outsmart the world, and the business are not only premier tag team champions, but premier champion as well. But BC Steel, for how long? Excuse me.
Wait a minute. Well, Joe Dombrowski leaving the commentary station. obviously having something to do at this point, as you mentioned, hoodwinked in a sense by Nate Mattson. Another shot of the dejected Atticus Cogar. Wondering if it is fully registered exactly what was just done to him. Again, we mentioned Otis, obviously not a lot of ringside. Remy gone, Gory gone. A man fighting on his own. Kind of Atticus, quite frankly, haven't seen. Well, Joe Dombrowski gone and not here. Again, the controlling interest of the tag team titles and the Premier Championship is the business, and there's Joe.
Business. Nate Mattson.
This is what the business is supposed to look like.
You may think this is worth bragging about. You lied about putting Sless's name on the contract and then snuck in and beat Atticus after he had a hard-fought title defense. You lied. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Nate, you realize you're guilty of the same thing you've been blaming us for doing to you for the past 2 months. And you know what? I'm not able to overturn a referee's decision.
I'm the champion.
I know Atticus has obligations all over this country because he's out there changing the game in independent wrestling. And Atticus will get another shot at Nate Mattson. That's assuming if Nate Mattson makes it to Atticus Cogar again. Because I just got off the phone with a very good friend of mine who you're very acquainted with, and it's long overdue for him to come back to Premier, and I think he would like a piece of you. So next month, we're back on Saturday nights. February 15th. And amazing Nate Mattson, your first Premier title defense in this building is against a Turner's Hall original named M-Dog 20 Matt Cross.
Atticus out the door. Well, that's going to fight another day. Nate Mattson on February 15th, first title defense against the returning M-Dog 20 Matt Cross.